Alright, guys. Now, I know that Gazillion has just wrapped up uh, Marvel Omega, right? We know that it's coming to an end. They're gonna be pulling it off of the internet and Xbox Live, PSN. But guys, it doesn't have to be the end of your gaming experiences within Marvel, right? I mean, we have these guys over here, Ultimate Alliance 2. Both are really solid video games, gaining their a second pair of legs recently, which that might be something. There might be something to that. I mean, they are made by Activision, and they might, who knows, maybe EA will get a hold of a Marvel license, and maybe we'll get a return of Ultimate Alliance. Maybe we'll get an Ultimate Alliance 3. Maybe we'll get another version. Who knows? Who knows? So all we can do is just kind of hope is that maybe that'll happen. But most importantly, over here, man. So here we have these. We have these over here. Now, funny thing is Marvel canceling games in general, or I should say Disney canceling games. Not very much of a surprise to me. This game right here, Marvel Heroic RPG, this was published by Margaret Weis Productions. You can find a lot of the creators. Cam Banks, he was the head designer in this game. He's pretty active on Google Plus. You can find him on there. You can find a very active community. People constantly asking questions about clarification on things and swapping story ideas. People are still making new character data files for this game. People are posting them up. I'm actually fairly active in there too. Right now, the hard part is there's a lot of Indians and not enough Chiefs. Or if you're more familiar with gaming terms, you know, DMs or GMs, and there's too many players, not enough GMs or DMs. Well, but in this game they're called Watchers, but nevertheless. Over here is my binder full of women and superheroes. Got magic in here. Now this is based on the TSR Marvel game. You can find all of the old books on Classic Marvel Heroes Forever.com. You can find all the old game books and all these data files or character files and run your own game. This one's a lot easier, I would say, in a lot of sense, to run, and it's a little bit cheaper because you don't have to do all of this. This right here cost me about, I don't know, $40 or so in printing costs. Maybe cheaper than that, because I think I was using some of my work printers where I didn't have to spend any money. But yep, and all you would need is you need 2x10 or 2D100 or 1D100 if you manage to find one of those crystal shaped ones, and then you use this to figure out, you know, what's your results here. You've got you have your sliding scale with a bunch of adjectives. You know, you have your beyonders, your one above all in the beyond section. If my camera will, there we go. You know, you have good and excellent and remarkable, and green is success. Yellow is a above typical success. You can start adding things like up here, you know, let's say, you know, white is a miss, green is a hit, yellow is a slam, now you're adding a condition, and red is a stun, which is like critical. That's like hitting, if you have a threat range, like say you're talking in D&D, you have a critical range of like 19 to 20. A red is the essential of hitting a 19 through 20, or hitting a 20 if you get a 100. A flat 100 across the board is guaranteed success. if you edged attacks with like knives, swords, whatever, you kill, shooting kills, edged weapon or edged throwing kills, things like that. Not so much over here. Now this game over here, it doesn't play like that. This one's really unique. This one's way more story driven. Because the other thing with the TSR that requires you to usually use a map, figurines, and a ruler, because you have to determine the distance of your movements. And that, I believe, is based on your endurance stat, and that's what allows you, and you measure by inches and stuff, on how to do it. This game, on the other hand, is not. You don't have to do that. What it is, how you play this game, is you would describe what your character is going to do, like in a panel of a comic book or a splash panel or whatever, right? And then you build a dice pool, and this is Wolverine here. So if you're playing solo means you're just by yourself. Buddy means it's you and one other person, and it doesn't matter if that person's over a comm link or standing next to you, or Professor Xavier in your head. You're a buddy at that point, and if there's 3 people, you're a team, no matter what. And then in any combination of the thing, you have 3 psychic characters following you around in your noggin, you're a team. If you got, 2 or more psychic characters floating around in your head, or 2 people sitting on the end of your comm link, like Snake Plissken, beeping you all the damn time, or if you're just rolling with the rest of the X-Men, you're a team. You have distinctions. These aren't always going to happen, but they can. I'm the best that there is what I do. Now, if Mysterious Past would often be a D4. Now, the differences between these is that a D8 is going to benefit you because it's a higher die. It's always going to be. You'll always have a better number, or at least a chance of a better number with a D8. You have a D4, which means that this is actually supposed to work against you. With the 1 PP, that's plot point. Now, plot points are used like in-game currency for anything like adding an extra die. It could be boosting a die, or anything like that. And then obviously you have, let's see if I can prevent my light from blocking everything here. I'm washing it out. So you have your different stats. You have your feral mutant, and the cool thing is that when things like this happen, right? They're blocked off. You can pick something from up here that's in relation to whatever you're doing, right? So if you're gonna hit somebody, you can add your enhanced strength and adamantium claws. If you're trying to dodge something, like somebody's trying to hit you, you can use your enhanced reflexes. But you can't use any of this unless you're, I don't know, trying to like slice something. Let's say you're gonna try to block something with your claws, and you can try to slice it. You can use that to maybe try to catch that arrow or catch that fist or whatever. You have now down here specialties. This is in D&D in D&D senses, or terms, I should say, even better. D&D terms, your specialties it's like a combination of feats and skills. That's why they're usually generally broad, right? So you have your covert master. That would be stuff like your move silently, hide, and your ability to understand cryptic languages and stuff like that. That's what a lot of the covert means. Menace Master is straight intimidation check. That's all it is. It's your ability to instill fear into others. Combat Master is your basic, base attack bonus kind of thing. It describes what level you are. There's Combat Expert, which is usually lower. Combat Master, and then there's Combat Grandmaster, which is a D12. vehicle expert, things like that, right? So those are things that you can add on, as long as it's pertinent, as long as you can you can narrate it for the reason, and you can't just say, here's a D10, a D8, D8, D10, D10, and I'm gonna make my roll. No, you have to say things like, Wolverine stomps through the savage land by himself. He smells a T-Rex from a mile away. He climbs up a tree as silently as possible, unsheathing his claws. He descends upon the T-Rex, right? And now you have all those die together, and you roll them all. You roll them all at once, and you have to pick 2 dice to determine your result, and then you pick a die, and it doesn't matter what number's on that die, right? It doesn't matter what number's on it. You just have to pick it. Now, typically, if you're trying to screw something up real good, right? You want the biggest die you can get. Over here is how you determine your health. You have a 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Once you hit 12, they meet their threshold. And that means that they can be KO'd, or if you add another die on top of it, they're KO'd, and if you exceed it. And if you keep slashing at them, like, say he keeps slashing at them, you hit it again, you can kill him. Or if that's your intent. Like, if it's Wolverine's intent is to kill the T-Rex until it's dead, that would happen. That would essentially happen. It's one of the things that can, when you're fighting against, like, Mr. Sinister, or Juggernaut, or any typical villain, it kind of puts that safeguard for you that you're not gonna overdo it and you're gonna purposely kill them, because Wolverine might be willing to kill, but let's say Spider-Man here. Spider-Man doesn't. Spider-Man doesn't do that. He doesn't kill. He doesn't kill. So, you would typically, all you want to do is you just want to hit that. Now, you have 3 different kinds of health bars here. You have your physical, you have your mental, and you got your emotional. Physical is just, biff, boom, pow, your punches, your kicks, your guns, your swords, your knives. Your mental are more, that's more psionics and things like that. Emotional, Spider-Man's a great example for this, right? So Spider-Man has Wisecracker. You can straight up just make an attack, just like that. You can just roll that, and you can do Psych Expert, or you can do Science Expert, depending on, or Tech Expert, actually. You can do any of those 3, right? So, you want to, it's not just, Psych is like psychology, not just, like Psych. It's, you know how to hit somebody with your words. There's a great panel, I don't remember what issue it was, but Spider-Man beats the Hulk by telling him a knock-knock joke, and it gets the Hulk to laugh. Like, the inner Bruce Banner laughs at it, and it reverts Hulk back into Banner, and that's how Spider-Man beats him. That is a critical success on the emotional attack. And that's perfect. So you don't want to actually hurt somebody. You kind of want to just what's called stress out. You stress them out. That's how you do it. So, to be honest, I mean, as much as I hate Marvel Comics, and I do, I hate modern Marvel Comics. They're terrible, absolutely terrible. Mark Waid is a lunatic. Dan Slott is a prick. Nick Spencer is just a hate-filled cuck. I mean, just terrible. What an awful person that guy is. And I'm ashamed that he's even from my home state. You know, he's a failed politician out of Cincinnati. He's a laughingstock. The dude's a moron. So the comic books might not be enjoyable, but I'll tell you what. If you guys are huge fans of Marvel and you feel bad for wanting to give them up, this is the way to do it. This is the way to continue to enjoy Marvel. And this is making your own. And I think playing games are is a lot more fun than just, you know, reading somebody else's story, because you get to make your own story with this. You know, you get to play as Iron Fist. You don't have to read vicariously. You know, for it says $19.99 on the cover. You know, you could probably find a pirated copy for free on the line. I'm positive you can. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm positive you can find a bootleg copy of this, or you can find them pretty cheap on Amazon. I think they run about the same price, give or take about $10. You might pay 10 over, you might pay 10 under. People are just, no one's really playing it. But so what happened was that Marvel pulled the license on this game because Margaret Weis Productions, they were contracted to come out with, I believe it was like 4 or 5 books, right? Now, they thought that they had, you know, that they basically MWP, they came out with this, and at the end of the year, they were slated to release Civil War tie-in books, campaign books, right? So you can find the campaign book that's a version of this. It's got all the same information, but it's got Civil War event tie-ins into the middle of it, where you can take parts of a story, right? So they had that. There was an X-Men one. There was a Young Avengers and Thunderbolts. There was an Initiative. And there may have been one more book. I can't remember. Well, anyway, so all of those, they were going to release them like 1 month after another. So people had kind of some time to play them. They let this game kind of sit on shelves for about a year. So that way they could, hold on guys, I gotta plug my phone in here. Look at the leg reveal, you guys. Look at that leg reveal. So anyway, so it was supposed to come out, and they were supposed to release it. Now, that's how they were going to do it, but apparently that wasn't exactly how it was written in their contracts. What happened was that Marvel and Disney wanted them to come out with the books like all right at once. All like they wanted all 4 books, 5 books, whatever, all up front. And now this is information that I'm gleaning because, like I said, I used to follow the main designer, and so little bits here and there have been kind of spread out across different posts. So this is from what I generally gathered from reading his words and different devs' words here. And so they were supposed to release everything all up front, but that didn't happen. So Marvel said, well, we're going to take our toys and we're going to go home. I think it was a really dumb idea on their part, because this game was, when it came out, it wasn't that well received, because there's a learning curve to this, and I would recommend watching. Once you get it, read it, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because it'll go like this. You'll get it, you'll read it, you'll read it, you'll read it, you'll read it, and you'll understand, and then you'll get to a certain point in the book, and it just goes whoop, and now you gotta climb that wall. And once you do, and you get on the other side, you're going to go, oh, there it is. Okay, click. Right? Now, when you hit that point, I would highly recommend that you watch things like Black Belt Gaming. He has a video series, he has a video series about it. I highly recommend that you watch it. That really helped me. That really helped me learn how to use the mechanics to their fullest extent. Now, one of the other cool things too is about this game is just the community in and of itself. There's still a lot of people active, and Google Hangouts has they have dice apps that you can use while you're actively playing it. So you can, when you, instead of just having to roll your dice and then flip your camera down and look at your dice, it actually shows up on the screen right down here where my finger is, and you can, you know, when you hit the roller, it'll be over here. You select your dice, whatever ones you're gonna use, and you hit roll, and it comes down here, and then you can just sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna use this, 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 and then you're gonna figure out what your results are, and then whoever the watcher is, they can go, okay, well, you know, that succeeds, that fails, whatever. But you always have to make sure that you tell people what you're going to do. The other thing, too, is that because you can write things that can show up on your screen, it's always really helpful that if you have any, let's say that you're fighting off against, you know, a mind-controlled Spider-Man, and he hits you like with some webs, so it's you're trapped. You'd have to write that on the screen, or if you're, or let's say you're playing as, I believe it was the Punisher. Is he in here? I'm trying to remember if Punisher's in this book or not. He might not be in this one. Alright, yeah, it doesn't look like he's in this one. Okay, but anyway, so Punisher, he's in the he must be in the Civil War book. Anyway, so he has like an ability called like Welcome Back Frank, or something to that general effect, where if he takes damage, he can take that damage die and add it into his current attack. Now his whatever damage that he took, he can step that up after his roll is done, but it allows him to flip it. And generally speaking, anybody really can do that. It's something you can spend your plot points on. This is going to be a game that I'm going to probably go further into discussion on, because gaming is one of my absolute favorite things to do. Just sadly, no one ever wants to play superhero games. Everybody just wants to play D&D 5.0 or 3.5 or that really crap-ass 4.0, because WoW really blows. Anyway, so guys, just letting you know, alright? Disney may have canceled Marvel Heroes Omega. Doesn't mean you have to stop playing. Doesn't mean that there aren't other avenues. Just find something. Man, these books are pretty cheap, right? These are for what it cost to get Venom and his toxin costume, right? The amount of money that it cost to get that, you got maybe a few hours to play before Disney pulled the rug out from underneath their feet. But for that same price, you could get this book, right? And for a few, you know, maybe $5 more, right? And with $5, which is like the cost of 2 loot boxes, get yourself a thing of dice. Play this. This never goes away. Marvel can't come into your house and take this book away from you. You're always gonna have it. You can play as Venom for however long you want. You can make your own Elektra, play as her for however long you want. Get your friends together, play this, you know. Go online, go to classicmarvelforever.com, download your sheets here, download your books there. They're all PDF form. I mean, I got an adventure book back here, Lone Wolves. Look at this. Look at this, Lone Wolves. How exciting is that, man? I mean, you get to play Daredevil, Black Widow, Iron Fist, Cage, fighting against Kraven. Dude, that's awesome, right? That's awesome. And you can even play as Moon Knight if you wanted to, you know? Play Spider-Man. Who cares? Play the heroes you like. Play the heroes you love. Right? Do it. Go out there and have fun. You know? Get off the TV. Hang out with your friends. Or get on the computer and hang out with your friends. Whatever. Get off the TV. Have some fun. You know? This game right here, I mean, all you need is 2 dice. I mean, that's some places it's a dime, some places it's a quarter a die. So up to, at max, you're gonna pay 50 cents for just to play this game for yourself. And literally, I mean, 50 cents. If you have a tablet, you don't even have to spend money to get the books or print off the books or the character sheets. You can sit there and organize it right there on your tablet or in your laptops and stuff. And you don't even have to buy the dice if you get a dice roller app. So screw it, man. I mean, make your own Marvel heroes. Make your own Marvel stories. You know, you're not at the mercy of Dan Slott and his crappy to me board. You know, make your own games. Make your own stories, man. You guys got it in you. I'm sure you do. We're all if you're a comic book fan, you got it in you. You know the stories. You can do it. All right, guys, that's it. Later. You can like and share. I'm trying to grow the station. I see that I got 1 subscriber. Appreciate them a lot. I know this video is really long, but like, share. Let's kind of keep the ball rolling. Later.